When adding a participant to your team, we only ask for some basic information, namely the team to which the participants belong, the nickname of the participant, and its date of birth and gender. There are two ways to make the profiles more complete. The first one is to click on the participant icon on your homepage. When you click on a participant, you can now fill out more information. By default, StreetSmart Impact will automatically create a profile field with the creation date for each new participant. When adding the nationality and language of the participant, you will see the 5 most chosen options within your team. This way, you can save a lot of time. The list of profile fields you get here can be customized by your team leader or administrator. Everything you change in the profile of a participant will be visible to everyone of your team. The second way to add more information is once you are in an activity. Click on the participant you want to follow upon. Underneath their photo, you will find 3 orange icons. The first one is General Profile. The second one is a way to add photos to this participant's profile. Again, these pictures are only visible on the web platform. The third icon is where you can find notes written about the participant, like a case management system. Next to this general information, we, at StreetSmart, defined 4 parameters to measure the impact to follow up on the evaluation of your participants: mood, skills, goals, and a social map. Why we chose those 4 will be explained in the next course of this program, the model behind the app. Scroll the circle to register the observed mood of the participant. The circle is based on the model of McGrabian and exists out of 2 axes, a positive-negative one and an active-inactive one. All moods on the circle correlate with these 2 axes. So for example, happy is a positive and fairly active one. If you do this consistently throughout time, you will receive some helpful reports on the general mood of the participants. You can also evaluate the observed skills of the participant. The list of skills is customizable, but only by your team leader or admin. The idea is to evaluate the skills your participant is showing to you. How will you evaluate them? Well, just by noticing how much confidence the participant has while practicing the skill and if they are progressing. The third parameter you can use is goals. Together with the youngster, you can set a goal they want to work on. You add a duration and the type of goal. This is interesting for reporting purposes later. Once you've added the goal, it's up to you to evaluate how this goal is going at every activity. Talk with the participant and discuss if they are progressing. StreetSmart Impact will remind you to do those evaluations with your participant by flagging the goal in question. After the set duration, you can evaluate whether the goal was successfully completed. The final parameter is the social map. This feature highlights the important relationships in the life of the participant. Together with the participant, you can add their contacts or click on a contact and do a short evaluation about this relationship. The evaluation is always from the viewpoint of the participant. None of these parts are obligatory, so feel free to skip the things your participant doesn't want to give an answer to. This feature is not something that is evaluated at every activity, but it generates useful info if you do it occasionally. You can determine yourself how often you want to do this evaluation and set reminders accordingly. Finally, next to the 4 parameters, there is one more thing you can add to the case of your participant: other evolutions. As an organization, you can determine for yourself which evolutions you want to follow up. By default, the idea is to show where and how the participant is spending their time. Again, this list is customizable, but only by your team leader or admin. If it's not an added value to track the daytime occupation, organizations can follow up on other evolution that ranges from always to never. For example, drug use. If you change a current evaluation, the other members of your team will see that too. Below, you see the topics to which the participant is assigned to within the activity.